Democratic leader. But I found it very interesting what Congressman Adam Schiff, who has been basically the leading politician on RussiaGate, foaming at the mouth, and MSNBC and CNN have given him endless airtime, so has the broadcast networks. Here's what he said on This Week with George Stephanopoulos.
This would undoubtedly result in a constitutional crisis, and I think Democrats and Republicans need to speak out about this right now. I think, George, you just pointed to the single most important development of the week, and that is at the same time it's revealed that the special counsel is looking at business records of the Trump organization, and I've always thought the money laundering issue was the most serious. You have the president, through his lawyer, trying to shut down the Mueller investigation and speaking out against special counsel. Members need to speak out now. Don't wait for the crisis. But I would hope that that would be the result, that we would affirm our system of checks and balances and appoint an independent counsel.
The president also continually repeating there was no collusion during the campaign in the tweets over the last 48 hours. Of course, that is the conclusion of the Republican House Intelligence Committee this week.
Sorry about the screen there. I don't know what happened with that screen. But as you hear, Mr. Schiff now suddenly says, oh, I always thought the money laundering was the biggest problem. I always thought the money laundering was the biggest problem. Let me read you the exact quote if you missed it in the video. And I'm still testing out this new software, so apologies if the video is a little rough. Hope you heard it. Let me know if you heard it and saw it okay. But Schiff says, well, I would hope that it would prompt all Democrats and Republicans in the House to pass an independent counsel law and reinstate Bob Mueller. That is, if Trump fired the special prosecutor Robert Mueller. I think, George, you just pointed out to the single most important development of the week, and that is, at the same time, it's revealed that the special counsel is looking at business records of the Trump organization. As I've always thought, the money laundering issue was the most serious. You have the president, through his lawyer, trying to shut down the Mueller investigation and speaking out against special counsel. Excuse me? This man, this congressman, who, by the way, is bought off by companies that are trying to privatize California's water system. Don't hear a lot about that in the corporate media. This congressperson, who has been the leading warrior of the RussiaGate warriors, fighting against the evil Russian boogeyman, stealing our democracy, attacking our rights, talking about collusion, which, you know what I think about that. I don't see evidence at this point that Trump's campaign worked with the Russian government in order to hack emails of Hillary Clinton or the DNC and release them to WikiLeaks. There's no evidence of that. Sorry. When there is, I'll have egg on my face, but I don't see evidence of that. But this man has been talking pretty much majority of time about collusion and evidence of collusion between the Russian government and the Trump campaign. And it's not because I'm defending Trump. I don't like Trump. I don't care about Trump. I think he's bad. And honestly, I think they are going to find evidence of money laundering. That's what I've thought the major issue is this whole time. But now all of a sudden, Adam Schiff is moving the goalpost. Now all of a sudden, it's not, the collusion isn't the most serious. He's always thought, suddenly retroactively, that the money laundering is the issue. Interesting, because do you guys remember him for the last 2 years going on Rachel Maddow and all these places saying, I think the main issue is money laundering? And that's the most serious? I sure as hell don't. Now, let's be clear. I'm for the investigation. I've always said, have an investigation, not a problem. If Trump has done something bad, if his campaign has done something bad, we should know about it. I've also said, let's stop the hysteria and the 24/7 attention and coverage on this at the expense of real issues. Because who are we kidding? America has interfered in elections around the world. America has toppled democratically elected leaders in other countries and installed terrorists Also, we could get other countries' oil. I mean, that's the truth. We know this. So let's have a proportional response to this Russia business. But Adam Schiff has been, I think, one of the main leaders of all this. Maybe to make a rise in his profile. Maybe he wants to run for higher office. I don't know. He is the leading Democrat on the committee investigating this. But you don't just suddenly, after 2 years, passing propaganda and unproven allegations about collusion. I don't care if Trump's the president, if it was Hillary Clinton as the president. He is passing off this nonsense propaganda nonstop. Also, we could not talk about the real reasons the Democratic Party is in disarray. Also, we don't need to talk about massive income inequality in this country. Also, we don't have to talk about politicians like Adam Schiff being completely bought off by big banks, by big pharma, by big oil, by Silicon Valley. I could continue. I agree. Cookie Monster says, can't stop the coverage when it's all propaganda. Real journalistic coverage would look very different. That's why, hopefully, you all, after this stream or during, go to patreon.com/Jordan Sheridan Reports. You are what's going to keep me independent, and you are what is going to get me back into the field. Real, on-the-ground, independent journalism. It ain't cheap, so I do need your help. I think you're going to like what we have to offer. In the field coverage on the disappearing middle class, on state and local corruption, on environmental genocide, on water contamination, on Native American issues, on police brutality, on the progressive movement, on local progressive candidates. That's what we intend to do. Hopefully.